Hi, hey, and hello. My name is Jerusalem Truth. I am an artist, business owner, tarot reader, woo-woo lady, and hoodoo baby. And I would love to give you a very personal welcome to this here YouTube channel, Temperance Apothecary, where I give general collective readings as well as pick-a-pile videos for your enjoyment. I have been a tarot reader for over 7 years at this point, and if you'd like a personal reading with me for life, love, career, and development, I offer 30 and 60-minute sessions as well as customized creative development readings, if you will, for 45 minutes and 90 minutes. So if any of that interests you, make sure you check out the information down below in my description box. And today I am coming to you with a weekly collective video. All right, we're gonna keep it short, we're gonna keep it sweet, we're gonna keep it 13 minutes. I just set my timer. Last week's was great. Last week's was great. It was a little long. Ain't no problem with that. It was thorough. But this week, it's feeling short. It's feeling sweet. It's feeling like the messages are ready for us to know them already. So we're just gonna tap in. We're gonna tap, tap, tap in. And if you are seeing this, thank you so much for watching. You are the intended collective for this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment down below any messages that resonate with you, and sharing the channel really helps grow. So without further ado, Spirit, may I get 3 cards for the messages. 3 cards for the messages you have to share with the collective this week. 3 wanted to come out all together. I do a pyramid kind of spread anyway, so I'm gonna use those 2 for the second row. And then we'll get one more, Spirit. Can I get a card to represent the energy we are meant to embody as a collective this week? The cards I have on the table so far are all flipped over. So we'll start, oops, this felt like, Queen of Pentacles reversed. It feels, ooh, Sword, 10 of Swords reversed on the bottom. This gives me upright vibes. I'll just double check. Just double check. Ooh. Some jumped out, child. Let's see. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Actually, that makes more sense. Does it? I don't know, Spirit. Make it plain. We keeping this? Yeah, the Star. All right. All right. All right. These 3 came out for the general energy overview of the week, and we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Knight of Pentacles, followed by, I'll keep them back here because they're unclothed, but the Star. Immediately, I am getting that this is a week of healing. What I just heard in my head, actually, factually, was la 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 by Stevie Wonder, Another Star. I believe that's the song, which makes sense with the Star card coming out here. But I understand now why the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. Not because we're not in our Queen of Pentacles bag, but because this week, at least how we're starting off here on this Monday, we are maybe taking a look around and assessing what is working and what is not working, and we're feeling kind of downtrodden about it. But because we are the Queen of Pentacles, it's also giving me that you are not giving yourself nearly enough credit for how far you have come and how much of your life you have actually turned into embodiment, how much of your life is actually representative of the choices, decisions, resources, connections, network, creations, creativity that you have desired to cultivate and develop in your life. That is clearly present with the Queen of Pentacles. Coming out reversed lets me know, however, that you actually may be a little too stuck in that energy. You are a little overly concerned with the rooting and foundation that you have or don't have right now. And that's okay, but this Knight of Cups, and even looking at their expression, the Knight of Cups looks focused, but almost somber, like, dang. Now looking down at the Star, it makes sense why I was gonna say that, but it's giving they're on their way to go pour one out for the homies. So the Queen of Pentacles is a little sad. She's maybe a little downtrodden, but she's not destitute. Ain't nobody kicked her out the castle, all right? In fact, it feels like, this is very specific, so maybe this will resonate for someone, but someone is at their vanity and they go to get ready and they kind of lose it, or they're a little annoyed with themselves because they're out of their favorite products, right? They're like, oh, what the heck? Of course, I'm always out of it when I need what I need and blah, 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 blah. Completely overlooking the fact that they have a vanity that is their own space to beautify and pour into themselves. And not everybody has that. Some people barely have a mirror. Some people use their phone. Some people use their camera screen, right, to get ready or what have you. So it's overlooking the minor details that actually indicate how far we are and how well we're doing. And then the Knight of Cups is taking those feelings and taking those emotions and honestly giving it to the water. Another song that just came to mind, Communion in My Cup by Tank the Bangas. I got communion in my cup. This feels like what the Knight of Cups is moving towards and what the Knight of Cups is desiring at this time. So that's the overall energy for the week. I'm gonna flip over to these other cards to see if there are any messages meant for us. Well, of course they're meant for us, but what messages are meant for us? Yeah, we got the Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles reversed, and Strength reversed in this first row. You gotta be brave enough to let yourself be seen trying. You cannot expect to get something different if you are doing the same thing. So if you are a dancer and you ain't took a dance class in a minute, baby, how are you even working on your skills? Or maybe let's say you're a dancer and you're self-taught and you're used to doing choreo at the house, but you haven't been in a classroom in a while. This Three of Pentacles also has an unclothed person, so shout out to them. But you see how it's a symbiotic relationship. You have the student here, the teacher here, and the model. And all of them are necessary for this to work. It's as if this teacher is teaching them how to draw. This person doesn't know how to do it, but they are necessary so this person can have a figure to draw, right? So this, and then this Four of Pentacles reverse lets me know that, yeah, you're not meant to be solitary right now. In fact, you are actually supposed to be allowing yourself to be seen. And that in itself is a brave act. And that is indicative of, again, that Queen of Pentacles reversed, Strength reversed. You are braver. You have more courage than you allow yourself to give yourself credit for. You ain't, you acting like a mean old lion, but giving scaredy cat, you know what I mean? And that's not the vibe for the week. And then we have the Chariot followed by Six of Wands reversed. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not even gonna shuffle. I'm just gonna split the deck. We got the Queen of Cups. This week is a little, I'm gonna use this Queen of Cups, by the way, to clarify the Six of Wands, which makes sense. But this week is a little emotional, as it should. But you see how the energy of the week is the Knight of Cups, and then we got the Queen of Cups to clarify. Yeah, man. Sometimes we get so focused on the material that we overlook our emotional landscape. And sometimes we get so focused on our material that we forget we are meant to catalyze whatever action it is we desire and want to bring into our lives. I think it's also something to be said about the fact that Strength is reversed. It's the 8th card in the Major Arcana, but the next row we get the Chariot. So we're not ready per se to tame the beast completely. Maybe you're feeling like you're leaking at the seams a little bit in this point in time, and that's all right. But what it's telling us is to take it back a step. But that step doesn't mean we go and we be still. The card before Strength in the Major Arcana is the Chariot. So you still are in motion. Your task of this week is still very much to get some giddy up, okay? Especially with this Knight of Cups and this Chariot. I want to point out, though, that they are not necessarily in motion, but they are prepared to take motion. You get what I'm saying? They are prepared to ride. They are prepared to start out, and then they have these sphinxes in the front that are accompanying them with that. And that, to me, especially with this Strength reversed and this, that's telling me that's think of your angel and your devil on your shoulder. That's the voice in your brain that wants to tell you, you're doing great, sweetie. You're doing amazing. Yes, there's room for you to grow, but right now we are actually so much further than where we used to be. Practicing gratitude. That's what I'm saying. How can you get in motion and still practice gratitude for the things that you feel like are out of your control, or the areas where you wish you had a little more oomph, you had a little more, what's the word? Security, a little more stability. Sometimes stability is overrated. I'm not saying that to say throw it out the window, but really the desire for security and the desire for stability is really a desire to feel safe. And if and when you can make yourself feel safe at all junctures, all points in time, with yourself, by yourself, knowing that you're at home wherever your feet are, you are safe wherever your feet are because you are safe with yourself. That is what allows you to get on a motorcycle. That's what allows you to trust yourself in whatever direction it is that you're about to take. And then now with this whole spread, we got the Six of Wands reversed, which usually is a card in motion, right? They're on the horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Clarified, however, by the Queen of Cups. So yeah, it's not necessarily, and I like that these two cards are, what's the word I want to say? Are in neutral. In neutral. If you've driven a car or had some type of motorized thing, right? There's acceleration, which is when you're going forward. There's reversing, you're going backwards. There's braking, where you're stopping. And then there's neutral, which is when the car isn't moving forward, it isn't moving backwards. It's not in park. It's just on, but it's getting ready. You know, you usually go into neutral when you're at the, I almost said gas station, but the gas station has a car wash, right? Or you put it in neutral when someone else is guiding your car. Boom! That might be relevant for somebody. Don't be afraid to allow yourself to stay in neutral, and don't gaslight yourself into thinking that you are stalled. That's what this is giving me. This Six of Wands reversed, especially again, going back to that Queen of Pentacles reversed, is we are in our minds. We are in our minds. We are thinking about, damn, this could have been better, that could have been better. Maybe your perception of success and where you thought you would be right now in this moment is a little shaken. It's not as clear cut as you thought. Yet the Queen of Cups is able to still look at their cup and then this ocean that is in front of them graciously. Like I pointed out, the Knight of Cups is a little melancholy, but the Queen of Cups, you see her face? She is very, I'm using she, but the court cards are gender expansive as far as my readings are concerned. She is carefully considering, carefully holding this cup, and that's what our assignment is this week, right? As we are allowing ourselves to exist in neutral, recognizing that that doesn't mean we are a failure. That doesn't mean that we aren't successful. That doesn't mean that we are not in motion. In fact, being in neutral indicates that there is something, someone outside of you that's helping you move your car, right? And the Queen of Cups is able to almost said properly, but that's not the word. The Queen of Cups is able to thoroughly assess their own emotional landscape and pour all of that into a cup and then release whatever is not needed into the ocean, and then they're able to appreciate what they have left after that. So right now, where you could be and are looking at the areas of your life that could be better, and I should be doing this and I should be doing that, the Queen of Cups, my friend, you are meant to be. And then again, the energy of the week, unclothed, the Star, you are meant to be taking those feelings and catalyzing them, using that as your fuel to move forward. And don't fear or hesitate when you are being asked to rev your engine but not quite go yet. So I just saw 1333, 1333. So if that's relevant for you, I just wanted to shout that out. Maybe you've been seeing 333 everywhere, or 13 is your lucky number. But to close out the reading for our collective spirit, I want to use two cards, 2, 3, from the Neo Tarot deck, which all come with affirmations, by the way. I found the book that came with the deck, which is crazy. All right, we've done our time, so we're gonna close out. But I found the book for the Neo Tarot deck, which is crazy because I got this deck. It was too used for that. 8 years ago, and so I still have it. But let's spirit, man, get 3 cards to close out our reading. 1 card for a word of encouragement. The 2nd card for how the collective is meant to anchor themselves, and the 3rd card was gonna be the vibe. This came out reversed, and it fell on the floor. If it fell on the floor, that means ×4. And the 8 of Wands at the bottom. Actually, we're gonna put these back, just because spirit, make it plain, make it super plain, super plain for the collective, for a word of encouragement. What's something good? Tell us something good that's coming towards us this week. All right, thank you, spirit. Ooh, So we got the Emperor for Tell Me Something Good. And I got the Eight of Wands at the bottom, which also came out the last shuffle I just did. So we have what's coming towards us. Tell us some good that's coming towards us this week. The Emperor. Then we have for how we are meant to ground this week, the Three of Wands, or the Three of Swords reversed, which was our daily collective energy for today. And our vibe, the vibe we are meant to be embodying this week. Ace of Pentacles, both of these came out today in our daily energetic forecast. So I'm gonna count that as a reinforcement of the message. And the message for today was letting the bygones of the past be bygones. Take the swords out of your heart, man. But don't just take them out, you gotta fill those with something. And what you are meant to be filling them with are the new ideas that you are manifesting and calling forward and bringing into your life at this time. And don't be afraid to do it with a little oomph, okay? The Emperor, I'm pretty sure is the card of Aries. I'm an Aries, my birthday is also tomorrow, which is the beginning of Aries season sidereally. And this week is the personification of that. The Emperor is all gas, no brakes, okay? He talk his shit and he back it up. So this week, for what is coming towards us, look for opportunities, look for leadership opportunities are coming towards you. Opportunities to organize and restructure your life are coming towards you. You can look for chances to be the own, I know this is the Emperor, but I've heard be the magician in your life, as well as be the leader of your own life. Be the pilot of your plane, okay? But let's read the affirmations for these three cards. So the Ace of Pentacles. The themes are opportunity, prosperous beginnings, offers, and potential. And the affirmation is I manifest everything with ease. The recommended self-care is to write a list of all that you want to manifest. Then write a parallel list of desires behind each of those manifestations. What about what's behind them? Keep going until you feel you've reached your truest, deepest desire, the one that's in your highest good, that serves your soul the most for the longest. Focus on manifesting that. Then we have the Three of Swords reversed. And the themes are, and again, reversed. So we're taking these themes, but the swords are falling out, if you will. So the usual themes for Three of Swords upright is mental anguish, heartbreak, forced growth, and letting it go. Today I said in our daily energetic forecast that the Three of Swords is being forged by fire. And with the Three of Swords reversed, ding, 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 we are actually putting out the fire ourselves because we've attained the clarity, we've attained the growth that we were meant to, and now we're able to catalyze and transmute that energy. The affirmation is my pain is a testament to my resilience. Exactly. Set a goal for working on forgiving someone, even if it's just yourself. Work on simply processing. Notice where you're at right now and where you want to be. Stay present with your current feelings and forgive yourself for any undesirable ones. Know they are an essential part of the journey too. And lastly, for the good things that are coming towards us, we have the Emperor. It is the card of Aries. And the themes are leadership, structure, benevolent authority, and society. The affirmation, I run things with integrity and conviction because I am the master of my life. What did I say? Be the pilot of your plane, all right? And the self-care. Saying no is difficult at the best of times, but learning how to do so is a crucial part of reclaiming your personal agency. Look for situations where you might be taking the path of least resistance against your better judgment. Instead of acquiescing, dig in your heels. Defend yourself with clear, non-violent communication. Make yourself heard, and you'll be surprised how willing to compromise at the least, people are. And I'm actually going to read the meaning because it gives. The Emperor is a card of social order and rules. It indicates mastery and authority in one's life because despite its stern, cold reputation, the Emperor allows us to follow rules, to use rules, and ability to say no, to stand in our power as the authority in our lives. It asks us to exercise discernment, confidence, and the ability to take stock. Without that ability to create order, we'd flail. Use it now. Exactly, y'all. This week, okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. Compared, using this Ace of Pentacles, use this as your springboard and let the Emperor pump it up. Anyway, y'all, I love that I set a timer and I'm still going over it, so that's great. But to end off for real, we will end with an affirmation from the Golden Mantras Tarot by Destiny Taylor. All right, Spirit. What is the affirmation for the collective for this week? Now, I wish I had the book for that, but I don't know where that went, child. So I just take the affirmations at face value, and maybe I could look up the guidebook in a PDF version. But all right, Spirit. Yeah, I have one card for the affirmation of the week. I'm gonna take these two, the one on the top and the one on the bottom. All that I need flows to me with ease. Is that not the name of the game this week? Is that not? If I can give you a little juju, okay? I'm the birthday gal. I am the birthday. I'm passing it on to you. I'm giving you that energy. I am sending you that good love and that pleasure and that joy and that excitement, because me personally, I feel it. Everything that I need is flowing to me with ease right now. Everything that I want, all the beauty, all the joy, all the peace, all the abundance, all the prosperity that I am praying for in my life is already coming to me because it wants me back. And I've created the containers and the systems and the order for it to flow into my life with ease. So that is what I will leave you with, as well as this affirmation, which is my vulnerability and ability to feel fearlessly are my superpowers. Exactly. Is that not the Queen of Cups? The Queen of Cups knows that their vulnerability is their superpower. That is what allows them to be more honest, more authentic, to show up in the ways that they are called to in any circumstance. That is what allows them to feel safe. By knowing your feelings are your feelings and the way you feel and feeling fearlessly and vulnerability as your strength, that is what keeps you safe. And that is what allows you to know that everything you desire flows to you with ease. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, comment down below any and all messages that resonated with you, and feel free to subscribe as well. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all with the next video on Wednesday, or we might have one before that, but you ain't nothing. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.